Maxwell, Groovin the Moo special.
Yeah.
As we dive headfirst into the most gorgeous man in Australian folk music.
Goodness, he's a good-looking fella.
Bluest eyes I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, of course, talking about Matthew Corby, just before we really go.
I call him Matt, but that's just me. He and I we're buds.
Matt Corby joined us backstage at Groovin the Moo in Lismore. It's a quick chat. We'll mostly chat about the latest album, Tragic Magic, and then he hits the road for a tour if you didn't happen to catch him at Groovin the Moo. So make sure you get your tickets there.
I'll hand over to you, Maxwell.
Thanks. With Matt Corby, welcome to the show. How you going?
Thanks. Yeah, good. How you going too?
Not too bad, thanks, mate. Look, it's the first time I've been asked back. I feel seen.
Rude. Jeez.
We'll
What caliber of people you've been speaking to today? Terrible.
We won't tell them. We like to start the show the same way every week, which is to find out what's been spinning in your playlists.
At the moment, which is an old favourite, but it's snuck its way back in. It's a record by a guy called Dirty Art Club, and it's called Basement Seance.
Okay.
And it's like a 20-track album, but it's all
Right.
just cool, funky instrumentals and stuff.
Awesome.
It's like, yeah, a bit Tarantino-esque.
Okay.
I feel like if Tarantino was a beat maker, that's what that record is.
I'd love to see Tarantino put that skill into doing an album.
Go and listen to it then.
Yeah.
That's probably as close as you're going to get. I don't think he's got time for that.
Do you reckon it could switch around?
I think that's a bit below him, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, he curates some hell of a good soundtrack. Like,
Well, that's true. That's true.
he must have a passion for it somewhere.
I mean, you'd think so.
Look, Tragic Magic has been out in the world for a few weeks now, and
Yep.
first off, congratulations on
Thanks.
a stellar record.
Thank you.
You've mentioned it a couple of times in different interviews about how you didn't necessarily set out to make a record. There wasn't like a cohesive vision. It just kind of happened to form as you went.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily like a statement that you were out there to tell
Yeah.
with this record. Now that it's live and people have been receiving it and playing it and coming back to you with feedback, has that kind of central statement sort of revealed itself to you through how people are receiving it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I think it's... Again, I don't really take on a lot of like criticism or praise or anything, so I can't be sure what it is still. And it's not really for me to decide. So yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. Sorry.
That's
Sorry,
that's
man.
a perfectly good answer.
Okay.
I suppose it feels like there isn't a set sound, again, probably because there wasn't like that drive to create the record. But
Yeah.
I think the thing that certainly when we were listening to it, we found the connective tissue was this kind of really in the pocket groove that sort of not the same groove, but
Yeah.
the concept of the groove
Yeah.
being across each of those tracks. I suppose when you're in the studio, you work. You're a solo artist, but you have a lot of collaborators that you work with.
Yeah.
Are you building those grooves, through jam sessions with fellow musicians, or are you sitting there layering them all yourself across the different instrumentals?
It's all just me playing most of it. Like if I'm working with Chris Collins, there'll be a bit of back and forth between us at the start of the day if we're just on two instruments, just feeling chords out and how it should feel. But after that, I just have when it's drum time, I get excited, and then when it's time to play bass, I get excited, and we just go through everything gets about an hour of exploration, and then we either think it works or it doesn't and keep going. So it's very piece by piece. Yeah.
Because it sort of each song, I guess, within the album of no cohesiveness going into a song and doing each piece by piece, do you ever get to, you've built out the groove, then you're going, this drum track needs to go, we need to go straight back to the beginning and redo the drum track to suit it?
We did that a couple of times on certain songs. There's a track on the record called Stained, and there was so much going on in the track, and I knew there was like an interesting song in there somewhere, and we ended up stripping almost everything out of it, which was actually a fun exercise as well. I mean, like, what's the least amount of things this needs to survive? And I think it made it a lot better taking all the sort of fun stuff that we did through the course of making the song away and revealing the song finally, like again, what it almost was when we had started, at the beginning of the day. So, but yeah, that stuff happens all the time. I mean, it's good to push to the limit of what you think it is possible, and then analyze and go, okay, what does it really need? What doesn't it need? And
that full circle of creativity, always revealing it.
Yeah, totally.
You've also, aside from the album, you've been doing a lot of work recently with artists behind the desk. You're producing, You're songwriting with a lot of other artists. How is, stepping more and more into that world of being the producer, the songwriter that comes with that. How has that impacted how you're writing your own material once you get back to Matt Corby stuff?
I think it helps a lot. Like I pick up little things from everyone, and I love to observe how other people approach stuff, like as musicians and emotionally, and it's a good environment for me because there's a lot less pressure on me in that situation, which makes me actually have a lot more ideas. And I'm not worried if my ideas are shut down because it's not my project. I'm just there to try and help someone bring their thing to where they want it to be. But yeah, I think I enjoy that more than making my own music.
Yeah, right.
I think when I get to make my own music, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing or who I am, or like all those existential questions come up, and you're like, oh God, like everyone's just gonna, it's just one of those funny. It's. I think it's really hard. So I like being the person on the other side, being like, hey, these are all your options, and I can see you doing this, and this, and like what floats your boat, So yeah.
You don't have to have the identity crisis when you're the mentor.
I don't. No. Yeah. Exactly. I can just be like, pick your own adventure. I'll be there with you.
They're having that full identity crisis, and they're like,
totally.
oh fuck.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
Have you ever been tempted to, like, if you're sitting jamming with someone else and you go, that actually sounds fucking rad, I'm gonna squirrel that away, keep that for a Matt Corby project, or are you happy to?
There are moments. Normally, people, they'll come into the studio an hour later than I'll get there, and I'll turn everything on and maybe play a couple of things and build a little track. And sometimes the track's something that I do want to just keep and no one knows it existed. That happened a couple of times in the last few years, which I won't say before what session that happened. But
they know who they are.
They don't. No, they would have never have heard what I did before they got into the studio. So, but yeah, there's little every now and then, and sometimes those days are great because it's not for you. You're just like, I'm just going to like put some chords down and like make sure the drum sounds good, make sure that everything's working properly, like, have a bit of fun before someone gets there. And sometimes those no pressure moments make something cool comes out of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, you're about to hit the road on the Tragic Magic tour as well.
Yeah.
And you've got dates across the show, headline slots, festival slots, all kind of things. I suppose, how do you bring a record that didn't necessarily have, that cohesive vision to life on the live show? Is there a way that you're going to just sort of have that freeform jam vibe, brought to life?
That's next week's problem. I really don't know. We started rehearsing actually. The songs are feeling really good. It's like the first time they've actually been played with like everyone playing something all at the same time.
Yeah. But
I was really pleasantly surprised. I mean, the band I play with are incredible players, so I wasn't surprised that they were sounding great. But I was pleasantly surprised at how the songs actually worked with, energy coming from different directions, all doing the one thing.
Yeah.
So that was bad English. Sorry, I'm a bit dazed. But,
don't worry, we got there.
Yeah. I'm excited for the tour. I think we're going to play a bunch of the new songs. Probably not all of them, but as many as we can. There's a lot of music to get through, so again, next week's problem.
I mean, we're very excited to see how it comes to life. It sounds like the band are sounding tight.
Yeah.
Very excited. Well, if you haven't yet had a chance, get your ears around Tragic Magic. It's an incredible record. And then catch Matt Corby live in Adelaide, Perth, Gerringong, Melbourne, Newey, Sydney, and Brisbane on the Tragic Magic tour between the 3rd and the 14th of June. Matt Corby, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks, mate.
Pleasure.
Lovely to talk.